How do you know if you have hypothalamic amenorrhea? Hello, everyone. My name is Claudia Vidor. I'm a nutrition and dietetic clinician and the founder of the Period Comeback Protocol. And I've decided to make a few videos just to cover the most common questions that I get asked pretty much every day. So let's say that your period has been missing for approximately more than 5 months or up to a decade or even more than a decade. And you're wondering, is it hypothalamic amenorrhea or is there anything else going on with me? Am I just broken? Have I shut down my reproductive system forever? Or am I dealing with something else like PCOS, thyroid conditions, and so on and so forth? So, as you may know by now, hypothalamic amenorrhea is a diagnosis based on the things that you don't have. So it's a diagnosis based on eliminating a few other issues that may be experienced by women in a fertile window. So these are the 3 steps that you can implement if you really want to find out if you're suffering from hypothalamic amenorrhea or not. The first one is to go and visit your medical doctors and to ask for a proper blood panel, also known as blood chemistry. So a few of the things that we really would like to see is what your sex hormones are doing, what your iron level is doing, and also your thyroid health. And I also normally would like to check all your androgens level just to rule out a few other conditions that may be happening also in conjunction with hypothalamic amenorrhea. If your doctor is really on board and it really would like to get to the bottom of why you haven't had a period for such a long time, which normally happens when someone is also trying to get pregnant, they may invite you to do an internal ultrasound, which is called transvaginal ultrasound. And basically, when doing the ultrasound, they're going to check if there is any blockage in your fallopian tubes, and they're going to also measure your ovaries, making sure that they are in a healthy state. And once they are in there, they're also going to check how many follicles you have left in your ovaries. Normally, that ultrasound is going to give you a screenshot of what the ovaries and the follicles are doing in that precise moment. But it's really valid in terms of understanding if your uterus is in a health condition. They're going to tell you about your endometrium the state of your endometrium lining, and they're going to give you a few more informations in regards to your fallopian tubes. Something else that your doctor may prescribe is an MRI of the pineal gland, and that's just to rule out any benign cancer. So that's definitely your step 1. Go and see a doctor, get your blood chemistry done, do the MRI only when necessary. You can also decide to check your prolactin level before deciding if the MRI is a good option or not, because normally if you had a benign tumor, your prolactin level will be quite high. And it's also important while you're doing the blood test also to check for any deficiencies in terms of minerals and vitamins. So that would definitely be step number 1. Step number 2 is having a conversation with your doctor in regards to your current lifestyle. And more than having a conversation with your doctor, that's where it's really important for you to get honest with yourself and ask yourself the hard question. How often are you exercising? Do you train despite how you feel? Do you train also when you're exhausted, when you're feeling fatigued, when you're under pressure, or when you're injured or sick? Do you nourish your body properly? Do you exercise on a fasted state? Do you consume way too much alcohol or too much caffeine? Do you allow yourself to have breakfast or to have snacks throughout the day? Do you track your food, or do you count calories? Do you track steps? Those are very important topics of conversations that you can have with your medical professional, or with a dietitian, your psychologist, therapist, or any professionals that you're working with. And that's really gonna allow you to identify if the missing periods are caused by malnourishment, overtraining, or a combination of both. The third step is to really check in with your mental health, and not only in your present situation, but also looking at your past history. So for example, if you look at the past 10 years, would you say that you have suffered from a disorder behaviors around food and training, or did you have an eating disorder? Did you go through a very a period of high stress and trauma? Did you lose someone that you love? Did you go through grief? Did you experience a miscarriage? These are all important factors when coming up with a diagnosis of hypothalamic amenorrhea. It's also very important to understand where you are in relation to your mental health. How do you perceive yourself? How do you feel in regards to your body? What are your current behaviors in terms of food and training? So just to sum it up, these are the three things where I will start from. So the first one is to go and see your medical doctor, go and get checked. The second one is discuss your current lifestyle behaviors. And the third one is just looking at your past history and have a better understanding of where you are in terms of your mental health. Obviously, there are a few other things that you can check, and normally that's something that I know I discuss with my clients on a one-to-one basis, depending on their health state. There are a few conditions that may come with hypothalamic amenorrhea, or they may look like hypothalamic amenorrhea. One of them is PCOS, so it's polycystic ovarian syndrome, which is very different from having polycystic ovaries. Another one is a thyroid condition. So sometimes suffering from hyperthyroidism or hypothyroidism can lead to missing periods or irregular periods, or also known as oligomenorrhea. But normally in my clinical practice, I've seen women suffering with hypothalamic amenorrhea and thyroid conditions at the same time, because the two are very much connected, thanks to the HPA axis regulation, which is also known as the HPT axis regulation. So HPA stands for hypothalamus, pituitary, adrenal glands, and HPT stands for hypothalamus, pituitary, and thyroid glands. So as you can tell, they are all part of the same system and they are very much connected. Now, if you have identified that you have hypothalamic amenorrhea and you don't know how to move forward, or if you're still unsure if hypothalamic amenorrhea is exactly what you're suffering from, or if you have been diagnosed with multiple conditions, so for example, hypothalamic amenorrhea and PCOS, or thyroid health at the same thyroid issues at the same time, your questions may be, that's fair enough, Claudia, I really got what you've just shared with us, but how do I move forward? So something that I normally offer to the women that come in my space is joining the period comeback protocol. And that's simply because it takes into consideration three different things that normally different programs don't really touch upon. So the first one is nutrition, exercise, and stress. So when I work with women, I really want to see where they're at. I want to get all the information, gather all the data, and have a deep understanding of why their body isn't responding, why the body isn't giving them a period. After that, we can sit together, set up some goals, and making sure that your body gets into a state of healing. So that will be step number one of something that I cover on the period comeback protocol. I normally offer individualized sessions to the women that decide to join me and are committed to get the period back and invest time and energy and money to finally get better and welcome the life that they want. The second step is mindset. We're really big on mindset in the period comeback protocol, and we touch upon mindset on the group calls, on the one-on-one sessions with me and with the mindset coach, and also on the online program that you're going to get access to when you decide to join the period comeback protocol. And the third one is community and accountability. I've already mentioned the group calls, but I normally invite women to a very small Facebook group, which is currently made of 30 women, and every single week we discuss topics such as food, exercise, mindset, blood test results, and that's a beautiful place for you to share your thoughts with women that are going through the same experience, and it's so very valuable. Why did I call the protocol period comeback? Because to me, it's not only about getting the period back, but it's also about getting the vitality, the energy, and everything that you're looking for back. So for example, fertility, food freedom, ease, letting go of the anxiety around training, around your food choices, being able to enjoy the time, the present moment with the people that you love, having a sex drive, having fun, discovering other things that you have always wanted to do and you've pushed them aside because you have been so busy while worrying about your health, your current health, or also because you have been too consumed by your exercise routine, tracking calories, or worrying about food, and so on and so forth. So if this message resonates with you, and if you're called to join the Period Comeback Protocol, just make sure that you book a free call with me. That's your opportunity to get to know me. And only if I think that I can help you, and only if I think that you are the right match for the HA community, you're gonna be invited to join us. That's enough for today, and I'm gonna see you on the next video. Bye for now.